Live from the Business RadioX studio inside Renaissance Bank, the bank that specializes in understanding you. It's time for North Fulton Business Radio.
And hello again, everyone. Welcome to another edition of North Fulton Business Radio. I'm John Ray, and folks, we are broadcasting as usual from inside Renaissance Bank in beautiful, and it looks like it's going to be rainy Alpharetta for a few days, and that's just fine. We need some rain. Hey, folks, if you are tired of the big mega banks raining on your small business, and if you're at one of those banks, they play all sorts of tricks on you, and particularly in terms of not giving you a live person to talk to, and you can't find one to save your life. If you want a bank that's big enough to handle pretty much any need you can throw at them, but small enough to deliver those services in a personal way, I think Renaissance Bank is your call. And I hear that from the clients that I send to them. That's what they tell me when they come back and say, thank you for letting me know about Renaissance. Go to renaissancebank.com to find out more and to be in touch. I think you'll be glad you did. Renaissance Bank, understanding you, member FDIC. And now I want to welcome Kathleen Elmiger. Kathleen is the Membership and Business Development Officer with PartnerMD. Kathleen, welcome.
Thank you, John. It's nice to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you for the personal invitation.
Yeah, it's great to have you here and to hear more about PartnerMD. So let's talk a little bit about how you're serving folks out there.
Okay. As you mentioned, John, I do lead membership and business development for PartnerMD. PartnerMD is a concierge medical practice in Sandy Springs. On the primary care side, I help people who are interested in better, more personalized primary care, matching their needs with one of our physicians in our practice. And then on the executive health side, I also help companies with their executive health needs and customizing wellness programs for their employees.
Oh, wow. Yeah. A lot there. Mm-hmm. So let's just give folks a little overview of you, though, and what your journey is and how you got into healthcare.
Absolutely. I am a proud graduate of the University of Florida. Go Gators.
Oh.
Ooh, I knew that would tickle your fancy.
You're a brave woman.
Yeah, I knew you'd say that, John, knowing you from Chamber of Commerce. So at any rate, but yeah, my career path has always been focused around helping people through better health. So I've been very fortunate to have a career in healthcare and working in many different areas of healthcare, from direct patient care through rehabilitation services, sales and marketing for cardiovascular disease awareness and prevention, program management and advocacy for mental health, lifestyle director for senior living and senior health, and now PartnerMD. It's been a wonderful journey, certainly an opportunity for me to continue to make a difference in really helping people their best life.
I set you up for that question in a nice way because I noticed your quite varied background in a lot of different areas of healthcare, and so it's obvious you could be at a lot of different companies. Why PartnerMD for you?
It is making that difference in people's lives, particularly when it relates to their health and wellness. And so it was a perfect fit for me to join PartnerMD and to just really help people live their optimal life through education and personalization and good health care. Yeah.
Let's get into the where and what of PartnerMD. And I guess terminology is a great place to start, right?
Yeah,
because you talked about concierge medicine, which a lot of people may think they know what that is. I may be one of those people that may think they know, but really don't. You talked about executive healthcare, I think you called it, right? So let's talk about those terms and what they mean.
Okay. Concierge medicine, it has been around for a while, but you're right. Many people aren't really truly aware of what that actually means. And concierge medicine is a membership-based medical model. Membership-based meaning that in order to be a patient of PartnerMD or concierge medicine, there is a membership fee involved. Mm-hmm. And that certainly we can get more involved in this conversation, but the rationale behind why people choose concierge medicine over traditional primary care, that's going to be an important conversation to have today. Mm-hmm. As far as executive health in the workforce is so very important, particularly these corporate leaders and key employees. Certainly if they get sick, that's a big problem in their company. Really focusing on wellness and identifying risk through executive physicals is an important process to help keep people healthy, because when their key players are out sick through health incidences, situations, it really does make a huge negative impact on the company.
Yeah, I want to come back to that here shortly, but let's just talk about the traditional primary care practice. And people might think about that as your family doctor, right? So traditional primary care versus the PartnerMD model. So talk about the how they work beyond just the membership aspect of it.
Absolutely. First, we need to recognize the challenges that we are having in healthcare today. And that's actually a whole nother podcast, John.
That's about an 8-hour podcast.
That is an 8-hour podcast. But so really, let's focus on primary care, because that certainly is also very challenging today, more so than ever. The stress and anxiety that really is involved in primary care, it not only affects patients, but it also is affecting doctors, our physicians in primary care. First, we have to take a look at the landscape of traditional primary care. And with that, from a patient standpoint, these are conversations that I have daily with folks that call in or contact PartnerMD saying, I'm looking for a new primary care doctor. And it's usually because their doctor's retiring. Mm-hmm. They've changed insurance again and again, so they have to find another primary care doctor. They've relocated, so it's a daunting task of really trying to find a primary care doctor.
Or maybe they've sold out, right?
And yes,
because that's a big trend these days, right?
Yes. And there's so many levels with primary care there, and believe it or not, there's a shortage in primary care physicians.
Why is that?
They're retiring. They're also physicians did really not go into medical school to learn the business aspect of running a primary care office. There's so much complexity involved. Also with managed care and insurance reimbursement, they are tasked to see a high volume of patients daily or total. And we'll also get into those statistics and such. Physicians are getting a little burnt out because they have so many patients to see, yet they don't have the time to spend personally, comprehensively. It is that medical treadmill that they're on. So it's the healthcare system, the process that's going on today is really stressful.
I want to talk a little bit, get back to what we were talking about, executive health. And we'll get into the insurance aspect of how PartnerMD works here shortly. Sure. I know folks are waiting with bated breath for that, because that always seems to be the primary question, right? Where, how does insurance factor in? Folks, we'll get to that.
Absolutely.
But in executive health, I can imagine how a company has as you said, they've got a keen interest in the health of their highly paid, their whole workforce, but certainly the folks that they're counting on in the C-suite, highly paid, highly needed, that they've got a bigger concern about preventative care than what the health insurance company has, which is they just want to pay for the minimum, right?
Absolutely.
As little as they can get away with, and they could care less about what happens 5 years from now. Say more about that.
Yeah, and that is our focus, is looking long-term and helping companies. And executive health can mean a number of things. We do have folks that just come through PartnerMD for executive physicals. So again, going beyond the traditional standard physical. Sadly, there's more money involved as far as providing additional testing, screenings, and such, because there needs to be proof that there is a problem before you get access to these types of advanced screenings. So really,
give some examples of that, like one or two examples.
Absolutely.
Of that. Yeah.
Again, with my background in cardiovascular health and disease, particularly number one killer, that for cardiovascular screenings, stroke and heart disease, many times just family history and risk factors do not allow you access to these types of screenings. You need to be having symptoms for insurance to be able to cover the cost.
So
of these
like
tests.
a CAT scan.
Yeah. You're not, yeah, typically there needs to be a reason for that to happen. So insurance companies only cover part of that cost or what have you. Doctors have to play around with codes and really order necessities for these types of tests. So it really, again, the complexity of what's covered and what's not covered in healthcare, and many times things are not covered. But medicine is advancing so much. There's so much out there that we can do for individuals to identify risk early before symptoms occur.
Right.
And that's what we're all about, is preventing, being on the forefront of prevention instead of being on the other side, being proactive instead of reactive for individual care.
Folks, we're here chatting with Kathleen Elmiger, and Kathleen is with PartnerMD. Why is PartnerMD able to attract the physician talent that it has? That's really the key, right? Is being able to attract great physicians, particularly in the kind of shortage environment that we have right now.
Exactly.
That you talked about.
And our physicians at PartnerMD, really, they've come to concierge medicine because they have been in the other side, so to speak. Of,
they've got the T-shirts.
They've got the They have had that high volume of patient care, that, in and out process. And they really choose concierge medicine to be able to practice medicine, to do what they went to school to do. So with our model, and we'll talk about their substantially lower number of patients that they see, which allows them the time, the attention, the resources available to their patients, so they can actually they can not only treat illness, but they can actually be a part of preventing illness. So being able to have that personalized, comprehensive approach to healthcare is great. And it's really great to see patients being able to have better health care through that approach, through that concierge medicine approach.
Yeah.
And it's equally helpful for doctors because they feel empowered. They're helping people. They're having that time and attention to help people with their needs.
Yeah, that's terrific. But let's get into the way the economic model helps this patient care issue. So basically what you're doing is you're asking your members to, that membership fee in a way helps compensate you for being able to have less patients.
Yeah, that is absolutely, you couldn't have said it any better.
Yeah, I mean, that is, yeah. And so therefore, because if you want to be in the medical meat grinder, stay where you are. But if you, that assembly line, but if you want more personalized care, then you pay a little bit for that on a monthly basis or quarterly, however you charge.
Right.
And you get that.
Absolutely.
That's what we're talking about, right?
Yeah. And it's important to be able to, and if I could interject, really looking at that landscape of what traditional primary care is and then how that compares to concierge medicine, because it's really important to see that side-by-side comparison too. And then that's why folks are deciding on concierge medicine, certainly PartnerMD. So can I talk a little bit about that difference, that landscape of traditional?
I definitely want to talk about that. But what I also want to get to, though, is something you and I were talking about before we came on the air, is because I think when people hear membership fee, concierge, they think this must be for really well-to-do folks.
Yes.
And that's not always the case.
It's not always the case. And certainly, as I indicated, that concierge medicine has been around for a while. And when people hear concierge, they say, ooh, that's fancy. That's the VIP pass.
Yeah, the valet parking.
The valet parking.
The velvet rope.
The velvet rope, exactly. And honestly, in the beginning stage of concierge medicine, there still are boutique medicine practices out there that are very expensive, that do cater to the elite, to celebrities, what have you. But it really has become more affordable, and affordability certainly is different for many people. But we find that it is very affordable, and it is a financial investment to your health, for your health. And certainly we can talk a little bit about what that financial investment is.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, share that with us. I think everybody's waiting for that.
Everybody's waiting.
And I think also just how insurance plays into this, right?
Exactly, because that's an important factor too, and because that's the question I have: insurance. Does insurance cover the membership fee? So basically, how insurance works with PartnerMD is that we do accept insurance, medical insurance, and most major carriers, so to speak. So from the primary care side, we bill insurance for office visits, medical visits, your lab work, any medical procedures. So that just like any medical practice does. And that's helpful for folks because we can bill their insurance for their physicals. So that really becomes part of their membership. So a standard membership fee for an adult for PartnerMD is $208.33 a month. So which comes out to be $2,500 for the year. And I think about folks who have a Pilates membership or a gym membership, and that's just for their exercise and health needs.
Right.
But when you look at all that is involved, and we can talk about the benefits of what your membership fee is paying for, but also important to know with PartnerMD that we don't work with contracts, meaning that if you are with us, say 8 months, and you move or financially something changes, or you're not utilizing the benefits, then we just ask for a 30-day written notice for termination. So you're not locked in. Most people do stay with us because of the continuity of care, but they do have that option to end their membership with a 30-day written notice.
So it's basically month to month with a 30-day notice.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So we talked about the difference in care, but what is the pull that you're hearing from patients that brings them to PartnerMD?
Absolutely. From the patient perspective, it's really trying to find a primary care doctor. You know, that in that process, they call, they're very frustrated. I can't find a doctor. I can't. And then it's also the other pull that we see, that many see, is that people are waiting a long time to even get in to see their doctor for general visits, for physicals. So there is an urgent care, that's a whole nother process. So that wait time that is being put upon people, not only getting a doctor, finding a doctor, so establishing care, and being able to get that appointment in a timely manner. It's not happening. Also, equally frustrating is that when they're at their appointments, there's also that wait time, that long wait time. And then they finally get to see their doctor. And guess what? Maybe 10, 15-minute conversation with their doctor. It's rushed. And they leave feeling, gosh, I didn't get all my questions answered. But it is that rushness, that long wait rushness part of primary care. And these doctors, primary care doctors, are seeing 20 to 30 patients a day. I don't know if you realize that because of managed care and because of the reimbursement, that they need to see so many patients in a given day to keep the business going, the operations going. And so what's happening, of course, 20 to 30 patients a day, of course there's going to be wait times, and of course there's going to be rushed appointments. And so people are getting really frustrated. They want to have a doctor that they can count on, that actually they know, that the physicians know not only medically but personally, and having that personalized approach to their healthcare and helping them with their healthcare needs. So that's what tends to bring them over. Wow, having that family, you talked about that, having that family doctor back in town. And that's exactly the approach that we have. We have the time. Our physicians don't see 20 to 30 patients a day. Their average is about 8 to 10 patients per day. So when you think about that, it's wow, there's no wait times. Your appointments start on time. They have direct access to physician care 24/7.
Yeah, let's stop. I want to stop there because I thank you for bringing that up, because I wanted to make sure we got that out, because the other piece of this is if you're at a traditional fast-paced oriented, I'll say it that way, primary care practice, you can't talk to the doctor out of the office if you're to save your life, right? You can't get through to them. You're talking to somebody that's on staff, right? And so talk about how you handle patient communication outside of the normal visit.
Absolutely. So with your membership benefits include that 24/7, 365 access to physician care, which is probably the most important part of our membership, is that direct access to your doctor. So you're not triaged, you're not put on hold, we'll call you Monday morning.
Call 911.
Call 911. If it's a medical emergency, you need to call 911. So that difference alone, emergencies aren't on schedule.
Yeah.
So if there is a need for physician care after hours, 8 o'clock at night, Sunday afternoon, they have direct access to their doctor. Now, on weekends, our doctors do rotate on-call privileges.
Sure.
You may talk to another primary care doctor, but they're able to pull up your chart. They're able to guide you in your request for care. And so that right there, that ability to reach your doctor when you need him or her the most. Along with that comes the same day, next day sick appointments. Wow. Okay. That's not in traditional primary care.
Yeah.
So
So what do you mean by that? Like I feel sick on a Tuesday night and I can get in on Wednesday morning?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So what will happen, you'll talk with your doctor and they'll say, okay, they'll make the choice of, all right, let me call you in a prescription, or you know what, I really need to see you. So we'll call in the morning and and what's really, really beneficial is that we delegate in our schedules each day for these urgent acute care needs. So that's how we're able to pull our patients in when they need us the most, which is really valuable. So that's certainly a huge benefit, because when you think about how many people are going to urgent care and emergency rooms because that's their option and how much they're spending there, being able to have that direct access, getting in when they need to be seen, is paramount. Also, equally important is that appointments start on time. You're not going to see at PartnerMD all these people in the waiting room waiting to be seen, cattle call, so to speak. And then appointments are at least 30 minutes at length. So you have that time dedicated with your doctor to address your needs and build that care. It's not that Band-Aid process. It's really building that patient-physician relationship. A lot of great amenities. We also have a wellness coach that's on staff. He's part of our clinical team. So our certified health coach works hand in hand with our doctor. So our members have access to a wellness coach that helps them with their wellness needs. So there's a lot of great benefits for concierge medicine, particularly at PartnerMD.
So I think it would be great, Kathleen, as we work down to a close here, is to share why patients continue to, it's one thing to choose you, it's another thing to continue, right? Why they continue to remain as patients, what you hear from them. We're not going to get into patient outcomes because everybody's got different issues that have nothing to do with the doctor. But just talk about why what keeps your patients there, what keeps them sticky, as it were.
It is our village. We have direct physician care. That really helps because our physicians, again, know them not only medically, but personally. So it's just that process of having that family doctor that knows me and that wants to help me and help me with my health goals and such. And we're proud. I'm proud to say that we have been voted the best concierge medical practice in Sandy Springs 2 years in a row. So that certainly validates the exceptional care that we are providing to our patients. And so, it's that continuity of care. It's not only looking, again, short term, but looking long term into health and building that health process out for those folks and helping them live their best life. And so that's what's keeping our patients and continuing to grow. Our patient panels for our physicians, we say patient panels, that means basically how many patients they do see. It really is. It makes a world of difference for those folks who are interested in better health.
That's fantastic. Let's get into the coordinates because you mentioned Sandy Springs. I know a lot of folks that are interested at this point want to hear, where are you? How can I get in touch? So let's tell folks where you are and how they can be in touch.
Absolutely. So PartnerMD is in Sandy Springs. We are off of Mount Vernon Highway. We're part of the Mount Vernon Medical Center building. Certainly we have a website, partnermd.com. Again, my role with the membership and business development, I can be reached at 404-419-4750. But there's a lot of information, particularly on our website. People can ask for what we call an ebook that really defines what concierge medicine is, what the benefits for PartnerMD. So there's a lot of great information out there that folks can take a look at.
Kathleen Elmiger with PartnerMD. Kathleen, this has been great. I can't imagine there aren't some folks that want to be in touch and hearing the great story you're telling about your work. So we're delighted we can shine a light on that. So thank you for coming in.
Thank you so much, John.
Thank you. So folks, earlier I spoke about Renaissance Bank and how they serve their clients. But here's the thing about Renaissance. They are dedicated community members as well. And one of their passions is the Georgia Alliance for Breast Cancer, which is a registered 501c3 nonprofit that raises funds to support breast health, breast cancer programs throughout the state of Georgia. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if you know about the Avon 3-day breast cancer walk. It pulled out of Atlanta back, about 20 years ago, something like that. And Randy Passoff, a breast cancer survivor, said, I don't accept that. Thank you, Randy. She said Atlanta needs a fundraising event where all the funds stay local to support Georgia breast cancer patients and programs that support breast health. And she created what we call now the Kinder and Gentler Breast Cancer Walk. And instead of 3 miles or 3 days and 60 miles and sleeping in a tent. Holy Moses. The Georgia 2-day walk covers 30 miles, 2 days, and the participants sleep in a hotel. That's my kind of walk. Here's the thing. You don't have to walk. If you don't want to walk, you don't have to walk. But what you do have to do, if I can say so, is support this cause. Renaissance, it's a big cause for Renaissance. And if you're able to lean in and support this cause, if breast health and breast cancer has touched you and your family, and it's touches most people and their families along the way, then lean in and see if you can support. GAABC.org is the website to find out more, and we'll have a link in the show notes to that. So check that out if you will. Just a couple quick things before we let you go. I have a book out. It's called The Generosity Mindset, a journey to business success by raising your confidence, value, and prices. If you're a services provider, consultant, coach, attorney, accountant, you're selling your expertise, this book is written for you. It helps with firms understanding their value, their positioning, their business development, and their pricing. Go to thegenerositymindset.com to learn more and to find out where to buy the book. Also, I just want to thank you, our listeners. You are just fabulous because this is show number 801. I don't know what I expected when we started this show, but I did not expect 801. We've made it 8.5 years, and we continue to highlight great business leaders in our community like Kathleen, and you make that possible because of your support. You like us on social media, share the show, and that's what it's all about as we seek to serve the business community here in the North Fulton region. So thank you for helping us fulfill that mission to be that voice of business here in the North Fulton region. So for my guest, Kathleen Elmiger, I'm John Ray. Join us next time here on North Fulton Business Radio.